good people? It's another week. Nfc Beast. Your boy Cool McCann. I'm operating in incognito mode. You know what I'm saying? But now I've been a little sick, y'all. So, sometimes you got to do some extra precautions, keep things a little cooler, less lights, a little, a little more darkness, a little shadow on the face and all that. But we in the building. Going by my man Scrub. I know it's been a long time. We shouldn't have left y'all for a whole week. We're not having us. We apologize, but life be life. We back in the building, Nfc Beast. And we're going to talk about what happened 2 weeks ago, as well as what happened last week. We'll preview this week coming up for you. In the middle there, me and Scrub are going to give you who we believe are the division winners as of now, based on what's happening so far in the NFL season. And of course, injuries, lots of things could change this by the time things happen, games are played and all that good stuff. But we can only give you based on what we got now. We can't predict the future. If we could predict the future, trust and believe we would have a lot more bread. I'd be like, if you can predict the future, just give me one good game a week. That's all I need. It ain't got to be the same team. Just let me get one good game a week. So your boy can, go and cash it in, get a little bit of bread, throw a little something in the paquetos, feel me? Have a little fun with it. But nah, y'all just, well, nah, man. How you been, Scrub?
I've been good, just chilling, enjoying my vacay.
Hey, man, there's nothing like a fantastical vacay, except more fantastical vacays.
Exactly.
I feel that. So, y'all, we're going to go back in time to a painful week for your boy. Painful week. But it's all right because lately it feels like all I know is pain anyway. So, Thursday Night Football, October 9th. Philadelphia Eagles go into the worst stadium in football, in my opinion, the worst turf in football, in my opinion. I know they got new turf, but it's still worse. It's just better worse. To play the New York Giants. And Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterbo decided to basically use the Eagles to make a name off themselves. All I'm going to say is unacceptable, Philadelphia. Unacceptable. There is no reason. And I'm not saying that Cam Scatterbo is not a good player. I'm not saying Jackson Dart is not. But you don't allow rookies to come out and basically manhandle you. And I get there were some injuries to the Eagles secondary, but that's why there's this crazy thing called depth. If you've watched any episodes of the Eagles Elite in the past, 4 years I've been doing it, however many years, one of the things that you know is Cool McCain strongly believes in depth. Cool McCain strongly believes that if you want to be an upper tier team, right? And it depends on where you're at. Because there are some teams, and no disrespect to my man Scrubs Giants, there's a building. So when you're building, you're trying to get those top tier guys in, and then you're trying to fill in behind them. But if your expectation is, playoffs, championship games, trying to go back to back in the Super Bowl, get Super Bowls, depth is important because you have injuries. So if you tell me a team only got one corner in week 6, that's a problem. One good corner, that's a problem. But if you watch this Thursday night football game and you laugh at the Eagles, and you should have, because if a team comes out and executes the way that we did in that game, they should be laughed at. Then you saw New York just pimp slap us all over the place. Ain't no excuses. Ain't no, we ain't had this, we ain't had that. It don't matter what we did or don't have. 17-34, unacceptable. Unfreaking acceptable, Philadelphia Eagles. If that's the kind of effort we putting out there, man, what are we doing? Unacceptable. But kudos to the Giants. I don't ever take away from the team that wins. But if I'm talking about my team, I'm looking at like what I expect, what I normally see, and what I saw. Now, some of that you could argue was the Giants' defense. I mean, we only put up 17 points. So I can't really argue against that either. All I can say is very disappointed. And as I said in the chat, kudos to my man Wizel Hefe. Kudos to Scrub Zero. And kudos to them Giants fans that, was like, yeah, we got the win. We feel good about it. We happy. Those who wanted to try to sneak in my inbox and, pop off a little smoke. We'll see if he's in there after Sunday. We'll leave it at that. Scrub, your thoughts, sir?
I thought it was the most complete game the Giants have played in quite a while. And if you've seen how the Giants played in like these past, since Dable's been the coach, like outside of that first season, there really hadn't been a game like that. So it was solid. Mm-hmm. He got the guy he wanted in there. Got Scatterboo had a great game, just like 2 yards short of 100, 3 touchdowns. Wanda Robinson came up big. You got some defense really did a good job overall. Wasn't perfect, of course, but it was. You watched back that game, you're like, all right, the Giants actually played complimentary football in all 3 phases, and that was good to see. And hope that they would continue doing that. But it will, as we'll get to, that did not happen.
Hey, it'd be like that, man. It'd be like that. All right. So the next game on the docket, October 12th, which was Sunday, was the Dallas Cowboys coming to Charlotte, North Carolina. And I just want to say this. Giants fans, Friday, Saturday, Sunday morning, you're giving me a hard time. I got to take that because you beat us. I get it. The victor goes to sports. That's how sports always are. That's how, everything is. You win, you brag. Don't get me wrong. But the Dallas Cowboys, very prematurely, before they played, spitting a lot of vitriol at the Eagles. The Eagles ain't this, the Eagles ain't that, the Eagles lost, and blah, blah, blah. And then they went out and got beat by the Carolina Panthers. So what I want to say to my fellow NFC East people, brethren who are Cowboys fans, I get it's nice to laugh and the Eagles catch a L, but you lost to the Panthers. And you might say, oh, but who's a better team, the Panthers or the Giants? Let's see, who's in the division? Who sees the team twice every year? Who you like, okay, that upset, not the way it happened, but the Giants was eventually going to beat the Eagles. It's been a while since the Giants beat the Eagles. They lost to the Panthers. Most people would say, even with their record being 3-3 or 4-3 now, at the time it was 2-3. Great job. But I do want to say Dallas, I tease Dallas a lot, and that's kind of like what happens. But from a purely analytical aspect, what I will say is Dallas's problems are clearly on the defensive side of the ball. Offensively, they're gelling very well and playing very well this year, except for when they played the Eagles in week 1. I'm going to throw that out there. Head-to-head, 0-1 Dallas. But I think that the Panthers they had everything going. Rico Dowdle, and let's not forget, Rico Dowdle said before this game that he was coming. Oh, and I'm going to say pause beforehand. Oh, he can't pause. So I thought it was well played. I think the Panthers showed us a little bit more than most people, including myself, expected them to. I picked them to win this game, but I didn't expect them to be able to put up 30 to win this game. So kudos to the Panthers. And Dallas is a team that doesn't have the right defensive identity. And Gerald Jones did this to y'all. Whenever you lose your best defensive player for the season, a couple of weeks before the season, you haven't had a chance to really do things without him, and then other injuries and some positions not being as stacked as they need to be, depth. This is kind of what happens. It was enjoyable to see the Cowboys go down after all the vitriol and smoke and trash they were talking about the Eagles. It was enjoyable to see them lose, but it was also, even in a vacuum, impressive to see Carolina come out and Rico Dowdle does for the second week in a row just dominate. So shout out to the Panthers. They winning some games and they're doing some things. What's your thoughts, Scrub?
Listen, I picked the Cowboys to win, so I was pleasantly surprised to see him lose. Shout out to my boy Christian because he was clowning on him the whole game because he was a Panthers fan and he gave up on the team before he came back to him, and now he gave up on them again to go to the Cowboys, and then they ended up losing. Like, you was the problem. You were the reason why the Panthers was losing. I just gotta give him a hard time. But I mean,
stick with it.
Yeah. In all seriousness, though, listen, the Panthers looks like they're finding their identity. They're finding, all right, this is how we need to go about our plan of attack offensively to win games. They've done a good job with that. We'll get to the Week 7 game in a bit, but Rico Dotto ran all over him, over the Cowboys defense. Bryce Young made some good throws. He controlled the offense, and the Cowboys just couldn't get that one key stop when they really needed to. And that, in a game like this, that's usually what it ends up coming down to. Can you get a stop? And unfortunately, the Cowboys couldn't get that stop. Dak's been playing good, but it just wasn't good enough, because when your defense is that challenged, it's a lot of pressure on the offense to have to score every time. And sometimes you actually do your part, but you don't get the ball last, and you don't get the ball last. You end up with the result you do, 30-27.
Yep.
Works for me, though. I want to see the Cowboys lose every game.
And then Monday night, October 13th, we had the Chicago Bears march their happy selves into the Commanders Stadium and handle business against the Commanders 25-24. So if you are a Giants fan, this was a week of celebratory celebration for you, because every other team in your division caught an L, and you won. The Bears showed a lot of poise. The Commanders let this game stay too close. If I remember, this was a Mariota game, right? Marcus Mariota was the quarterback.
No, Jaden Daniels actually
played. Well, this is the one Jaden came back. Okay.
Yeah.
Can't remember which one it was. Because the games running together because we missed last week.
Yeah.
The problem with, I said this about Jaden Daniels. I love Jaden Daniels, even though he's a Commanders quarterback, because I like what he can do. The problem with Daniels, in my opinion, sometimes is just the mentality can be good and bad, right? He's a guy, he's going to run, he's going to throw, he's going to do it all. And he's going to take some hits that you don't want your quarterback to take. And those can build up over time, especially when you're just coming back from an injury. And I just say that in order for him to be the quarterback that everybody believes is going to be, his best ability is going to have to be availability. And we're going through that. Are you going to figure this thing out, take your licks, and understand, or are you going to be the guy that's always beat up? And I'm just curious to see which one Jaden's going to be. But I think that he has the ability to be that guy that can get things done. And I really hope he does, because I enjoy seeing good quality quarterback play, right? I even go as far as to say right now, I shout out Dak. Dak's playing some good quarterback. They're not winning games because of defense, but Dak is not the problem. And I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, it's Dak, blah, blah, blah. But hey, you still got to win games. But these are two teams, Dallas and Washington, in my opinion, that if the quarterback play can hold, and then vice versa. So for the Commanders, the defense continues to just be good enough, and the quarterback play and the offense can hold, they're going to be good. For Dallas, you're going to have to continue to be offensively very strong and hope the defense can do just enough or not mess it up based on where you're at right now. So just two teams that kind of look the same, but also some differences in how they play. But Commanders, a tough loss, but like Scrub just said, if you don't have the ball at the end of the game, you can't control if you win or not, unless you got a dominant defense. What you want to add to that, Scrub?
Listen, I picked the Bears to win this game, so I was glad about that.
I think I did too.
Caleb Williams, he looked good. He did a good job in this game. Obviously, you look at the stats, you'd kind of be like, he was. But if you watch the game, he was actually playing very well. Can't have 3 turnovers. Washington had the 3 turnovers. This is the first time I think we've seen Jaden Daniels look human relative to all the things he's done to that point.
Right, and that's what made me not be able to remember. Well, like I know he had the game where he played bad, but I know Mariota had a game where he played bad too. So, but yeah,
he looked like a second-year player, and to the point of availability, as a coaching staff, you got to help your quarterback out. As he's only in the second year, you got to help him out. You got to get the run game going. You got to come up with some easy ways to get the ball out of his hands so he's not taking those hits. And this was always my issue with Cliff Kingsbury. I'm like, bro, we saw this in Arizona. It's going to catch up to him because Cliff Kingsbury, like, is he a better offensive coordinator than head coach? Yeah. How much better? As things stand right now, it don't look like he's much better. So
that's a good point too.
And then, like I said from the start of the season, this team's average. If it comes down to the quarterbacks, yeah, I can trust Jane Daniels. But if it started coming down to the rest of the team, and if you got him turn the ball over 3 times, I know this rest of the team, they're not gonna hold up against some of these other rosters. So it's kind of what we ended up seeing on that Monday night game. But not too late in the season. No one has really defined themselves as a runaway. So Washington still got some time, and maybe they can figure it out. Not just in the division, but for the conference too.
Right. Definitely makes sense, man. Definitely makes sense. So, guys, appreciate y'all tuning in. We're going to go ahead and slide on over to week 7 and get into those matchups. Much better week as an Eagles fan. Much better week. Ironically, per NFL.com, not Cool McCain. First game, Eagles, now 5-2. Go in and take care of the 3-3 Vikings with Carson Wentz at quarterback. Now, you know what? Go ahead. So I'm gonna let you go first.
I'll say it like this. Things went better for the Eagles week 7 they did week 6. It still wasn't perfect. But I love Jalen Hurts. He's a good quarterback. He has all the intangibles, but he's also a rhythm quarterback. And I see it. I'm like, bro, y'all need if Jalen Hurts is going to play the way that the team needs him to play. Y'all, the running game got to get going in some way, even if it's not like showing the yards. You got to commit to it, because once that commit to it, like, all right, we can. He gets into a rhythm. Saquon had 18 carries, 44 yards. You'd be like, Saquon had a bad game. All right, maybe so, but that 18 carries keeps you balanced, keeps the defense honest, and it keeps you from being that one-dimensional team. You ain't just give up on the run. And that's a big deal, because right now the defense, man, these guys, if you can on this defense, that's not the play right now. And the 2 wide receivers, Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown, I mean, listen, you let them get going. And I love Brian Flores as defense coordinator, but there's only so much he can do against a team like this when they get going offensively. And they made the plays they needed to. But there is no reason Carson Wentz should have ever been in this game. Carson Wentz? 28-22. Now, it kind of wasn't that close, but it also was at the same time. Like, come on, you can't let Carson Wentz hang in a game like this. Because as much fun as we might make of him, that's still an NFL quarterback. And you don't want to give guys chances over and over. Because usually what ends up happening, giving one too many chances, you end up losing. Like, how do we lose? Kept him in the game when he had no business doing so. But hey, he got the job done. So shout out to the Eagles.
So I'm glad you brought up Carson Wentz. For a good portion of the game, he was controlled. And then as we got into the third, and fourth, it's kind of like they just backed off. But I think part of that was just, if I'm being 100% honest, I mean, everyone that knows anything about football can understand that Quinyon Mitchell is the only NFL starting caliber cornerback that we have on the active roster. Jacorian Bennett, who has had his 21-day window activated, come back and work out, may get opportunities on Sunday if he's ready to play. He got injured in week 2. So a lot of people say, oh, Jacorian Bennett, why don't I want to play him? Well, you can't play guys on injured reserve. So now he's past that time. He can get, back out, see what he's got. But putting him to the side because he was out injured. The other cornerbacks that we have are not NFL starting caliber cornerbacks. And Vic Fangio, I don't know if maybe he feels like with everything else being good, they can try to cover that up or what the situation is. But to be 100% honest, we've got one. So it is what it is. I'm not concerned as much right now, as long as we can get things together and get things, doing what they need to do down the road. Letting teams back in games is very concerning. But I think we've made some adjustments. Benny will be back. Nolan Smith will be back in another week or two. Brandon Graham is signed for the rest of the season. A guy that pretty much his own words, I didn't want to not leave, but I didn't want to leave. But basically, they didn't have a role for me. But now I'm suffering a little bit. Now all of a sudden, oh, Brandon Graham, BG. Hey, you get it where you get it. I think this along with the last 2 games, all 3 of these last games, the 2 losses and this win, which was a lackluster win at best, has taught us that you've got to have a second cornerback, because Jordan Addison, who I had in fantasy and who I played because I understood that he was playing the second corner for the Philadelphia Eagles, and that is a plethora of yardage and points out there. And I took advantage of that. Like I said, something's got to be fixed, but these are not unfixable things. But how he's going to have to humble himself and say, okay, some of the moves I made may not have been what was best for what we need. So we got to correct some of those. We still need to sign in that corner. I'm saying at least we bring at least one guy to be a backup, because the 2 guys you have starting, if Benny ends up being another starter, I'm pretty solid with. But you have to put a Dory Jackson or Eli Ringo or Keely Ringo in that game.
You might as well turn tail and go home.
Pretty much. So, learning experience, but the disappointment for me comes from just you have to be a better team against guys that you can beat. All right, and we got this is the one that Scrubs I'm happy about. I'm going to go ahead and let him set this one off. We got the New York Giants traveled to Denver and came out 1 point short to the Denver Broncos. 32-33.
This loss, this one, I hadn't seen a loss this bad from the Giants specifically since 2010. I think week 15. Yep, against the Eagles, Miracle Melon's parts. We're up 19-0 through 3 quarters. You give up 33 in 1 quarter to Bo Nix. Bo Nix is a 1-read quarterback. Let's just call it what it is. You watch his eyes the whole game. He's going to lock onto the receiver. If he gets off, it's either because he's looking to run or he's going to the check down. But he's a 1-read quarterback. So the fact that the Giants let the Broncos get those 33 points, that's a coaching issue. That, there's no other way to put it. Dable got too cute once again. Wanted Dart to be the hero instead of just win the dang on game. You saw it late in the game. He threw the pick. I would rather he just take the sack, because at that point, all right, punt the ball. Now they gotta really go. Now you can't give up a quick score, because you know what's the fastest way for any team to get back into a game?
Quick scores and turnovers. Yeah,
and I personally don't think they would have had enough time to win that game if we punted the ball as opposed to that pick. But it happens. But I knew the game was going to be lost, so I'm like, all right, Giants score. Cool. I'm still going to give it up, because this is what they do. Because they're another team that's had a history of giving up big leads in games, and, we haven't been able to get this stuff sorted. And every time it feels like, all right, we one step forward, 2 steps back. I'm tired of it. But you know what? We're at the point where, listen, this continues happening. The Giants will have a new head coach and GM after the season. So
you might end up getting what you want from what you don't like to see.
Exactly.
I think the Giants, for me, there's a little bit of a hangover with the big win over the Eagles. And I'm not trying to walk around like, the Eagles are the greatest team ever. But I think when you beat a team that just won a Super Bowl, you haven't beaten in a while, you got up for that game, I think you just expend a lot of emotional energy, a lot of young guys in key positions. And they just let their foot off the pedal just enough to give Denver the opportunity and for them to be able to, take advantage of it. I do feel like I would agree with you in saying coaching is part of it. I would also add some execution, because there's several times where, it's good, it goes without saying. I just want to put it out there for the people, you know what I'm saying? But, execution, you always have to execute 100%. And a lot of times teams have a problem with that, especially young teams who have a really great game, and they kind of changes how they feel about what's going on with the season. I'll put it like that. But I think Giants are a team that I'm looking at now with Dart, with Scatterboo, even though the way he's playing, they ain't going to last about 5 or 6 years. They have a buzz about them. They're a team where you can look at now and be like, all right, this is a team that might be a young up-and-coming team. They're not there yet, but they at least have a few things moving in the right direction, whereas before you're just kind of like, it's the Giants. So at least there's some positivity coming out of everything. But if I'm a Giants fan like you, screw up, I get it. Right? I get it.
Cool, I'm not even going to lie to you. This is kind of how it started with Daniel Jones. And we saw how that ended.
Oh, Lord.
No, understand.
It's just when you say Daniel Jones and how it started, I'm like, ooh.
But remember, Daniel Jones had that great game his first start.
Right.
The first season, there were ups and downs, but you felt good about it. And then there was just no stability. They kept flipping coaches. His play went into the tank. Yeah, 4th year he actually turned it back up, but you go away from what make the strength of what your quarterback and your team is. And I've seen this roadmap before, and I feel like it's the same thing, because Daniel Jones coming out was an RPO quarterback. Jackson Dart, RPO quarterback. I don't think he has as strong as arm as Daniel Jones. I don't think he has a lot of intent. He got a lot of energy. He's got some heart to him, but there are things about just where his game is right now. That's not to say he can't improve, but it does give me concerns of how it went with Daniel Jones. And I fear it might end up going the same way.
I will say this. I spoke to a couple of my boys that are Giants fans. When y'all got Daniel Jones, they were all like, oh, Lord, 4 or 5 years of crap. And these are guys who watch college, so they can, they understand that transition and everything. They feel a lot better about Dart. They were confident in Dart, and Dart had a good preseason. I think Dart is the smarter, more athletic, but maybe less arm strength this time type of Daniel Jones player. More of what you guys, those who believe in Daniel Jones, thought they were going to get with Daniel Jones. Right? I think Dart can run this offense. I think Dart is definitely the best quarterback you have on the roster at this point, without a question. Because if you thought, I mean, like I said, I was telling people before the season, it ain't going to take so long to get away from Russell Wilson. Because Russell ain't got it no more. He watched Russell. Because you get to a point where, especially as a smaller quarterback, there's only so much that you can do. Dart has the size. He's not an extremely, overly gifted athletic quarterback, but he can run. And I think you give him a chance to grow. You get the right system around him, and you have a very good point. You have to be consistent with his coaching. You can't give him a new coach every 6 months, every year, every other year, and expect him to be successful. So I do agree that's something that you guys got to do better with, as far as if you want him to be successful. But I think Dart is, to me, head and shoulders better than Daniel Jones in your system and what he has right now. Now, if we don't go into what's going to happen in the future, you never know, because talent's got to stay in all that. But
I think it's just more Dable has his guy, the guy he wanted, because as much as I don't want to admit it, I see Daniel Jones out in Indianapolis, and they got a better, but think about Daniel Jones' first year with Dable, and look at him in Indianapolis. It doesn't look too much different.
Yeah, and then he's walking into a better situation. You already got wide receivers, you already got defense, you already got an offensive line, you already got a running back. You're just plugging yourself in. And I remember when we did the first episode, when we were talking offseason, I said Daniel Jones is a genius. Daniel Jones found one place that he could go to have everything but a quarterback. Let me go slide my hind pops on in here at this quarterback, because the dude that's my competition is going to lose himself. I don't have to do anything to him. He's going to do it to himself. And that's what he did.
Yeah.
All right, so this one is interesting, to say the least. The 3-4 Washington Commanders went to Arlington, Texas, and got what we used to call it, got lapped on the scoreboard. 22-44, Dallas Cowboys, Game Network, and of course, we're no longer Mark Safe from We Them Boys, and we're winning the championship. My only thoughts are, we know Daniels got hurt. We know Mariota's just not him. But at the same time, you walked into this game expecting the Washington to have a better defense and to be able to run the ball and, control things a little bit better. Just didn't happen, right? So now you've got the 3-4 Washington Commanders who have failed behind the 3-1 Dallas Cowboys for second place in the division. It's crazy. Oh, man. Did not see that coming. What's your thoughts on that, Scrub?
Honestly, you watch it, I'm not surprised with how the game went. It did get away from them, but
yeah, that's fair.
Remember, no Deebo Samuel, no Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin had
one half all season. This guy's killing me in fantasy.
I know you're in fantasy, but also it's bro, you don't have you security blanket in Deebo. You don't have a guy you don't have your number one in McLaurin. They got some other guys, but they're just guys. Jalen Lane, he's just a guy. That's not to say they can't play, just that they're not difference makers. They don't have any difference makers on this offense outside of the quarterback anymore. Or even maybe not difference makers, but even plus players. All these guys are, like I said, average. These are average guys. You get, and it showed
Ertz and Krosky Merritt and stuff now.
And Krosky Merritt, he's doing what he can, but he's a complimentary back. He's not someone you want to put it all on him. They're missing Brian Robinson clearly because you ain't got that power back no more. You miss obviously the injuries. Daniels got hurt. And then the Cowboys, listen, if they're able to get out to a lead on you, you know how Bland like to do. He gonna jump a route. And it's a lot more favorable to jump a route when you ahead than behind. He got one to the house. Dallas offense once again kind of just they did what they wanted. Listen, Dak can continue playing like this. If the Cowboys can continue stacking wins, end of the season, we might be talking about MVP.
Shout out to him, man. You know, I don't want them to have wonderful games and stuff like that.
Neither do I.
But shout out to them. They are playing well, and shout out to them. Definitely not a hater. Shout out to them. They do what they need to do. Don't like to admit it, but they are. All right. So switch it up real quick. We're going to go through the divisions. We're going to start in the AFC. I'm going to give the teams. You tell me who you think is going to, as of now, win the division. So AFC East, Patriots are 5-2. Bills are 4-2. Dolphins are 1-6. Jets are 0-7. Who do you think is winning the division? Clearly, it's between the Patriots and the Bills.
Oh yeah, because the Dolphins and the Jets are done. They've been done. But yeah, Bills are in trouble. I got the Patriots win this division. After they beat them up in Buffalo, I'm like, yo, Bills are in trouble. Patriots might actually got a little something.
I'm still gonna go Buffalo. They go over the season. Buffalo gonna get them. But right now, the Patriots are good. But I feel like I'm still going to go Buffalo. But, I mean, if you told me Dolphins or Jets, I'd be like, screw it. Why are you playing, man?
Nah, I couldn't do that. Listen, I'm in New York, so I get to see the Jets. I know how that is.
I feel you. All right, AFC North. Steelers are 4-2. Bengals are 3-4. Browns are 2-5. And the Ravens are 1-5. Who you got winning that division?
If the Ravens were 500, I would have picked them because Lamar going to come back. But I think they're too far behind to win the division. That doesn't mean they can't make a playoff spot, but even that's a uphill climb. But yeah. I got the Steelers.
So this is what's crazy. We got the Bengals at 3-4, and Jake Browning looked like a total disaster the 2 games that he played quarterback. And the Bengals are still 1 game out of, well, a game and a half, if you want to,
2 back in the loss column.
Yeah, 2 back in the loss column, a game and a half in the win column. Well, game in the win column. So, basically a game and a half back of the Steelers. I think that Joe Flacco, I call him Plastic Flacco because it's almost plastic to me. I think he has enough juice in the tank to hold him until Burrow gets back later on in the season, probably around week 12 or so. I think Flacco can do enough to keep this team lingering at the top. And everything is going well for the Steelers, and they're still only, they don't have that much of a lead. So I'm going to actually go Cincinnati. This is wild.
The only reason I'm not going Cincinnati is because I don't trust Zach Taylor. I never trusted Zach Taylor. He's another guy who don't lean on the run game enough, and who should be gone as well.
Now, we talking about the playoffs. I'm 100% with you. But regular season, to win the division, I'll rock with him. The playoffs,
I still won't because even some of them regular season games would be costing them, dog. They could be doing a lot. They'd be doing a lot better. I don't think. I don't think Flacco's going to be enough to save them.
Yeah, but once they get Joe Burrow back, everything's good.
They just got to keep themselves in there. I don't know if they can.
Hey, Flacco, as long as he can throw that ball 5 to 10 yards and actually find T. Higgins and what's it called, they'll be fine.
Listen, I got Jamar Chase in fantasy. I don't care if they lose. As long as they get Jamar Chase the ball, I'm good.
Yeah, and Chase is going to get the ball. Higgins going to get the ball too, and Flacco's going to deliver. I was laughing when they picked Flacco, but then I saw him play against the Jets, and I'm like, I know the Jets ain't the greatest defense, but I'm like, this actually might make some sense. Just as a stopgap for 5 or 6, 7, 8, whatever games, it actually might make some sense. All right, let's go AFC South. We got the Colts at 6-1. We got the Jags at 4-3. Texans at 2-4. Titans at 1-6. Who you got?
I would have said the Texans, but after seeing Monday night, all that went down the drain. And you know, Eli Manning 2.5. You know how I feel about that dude down in Jacksonville. So it's Jonathan Taylor, Daniel Jones, and the Colts.
I'm actually with you 100% on that one. Because, I mean, they got the L, but they're 6-1. Daniel Jones is not out there having 500-yard games every game, but he's doing what he needs to do for them to be successful. And I think when you look at that and you realize how important that is and how simple it is to say, but you have to really understand. Dan Jones is the right fit for the Colts. With Shane Steichen, who was a quarterback whisperer, for sure. It's the right move. Again, I give Dan Jones a lot of props, like I told you before. When he went there, I was like, ooh, he going to find his way to start. I mean,
listen, as much complaints as I got about him, he's great at managing the game if you give him what he needs to manage the game. He's doing his job, and there's nothing more you can ask from a player than to do their job.
Absolutely. So now we come to a division that's a little entertaining. So got the AFC West. We got the 5-2 Broncos in first place right now. We got the Chargers in second at 4-3. Chiefs tied really for second, but in third at 4-3. And then we have the Raiders at 2-5. We expected the Raiders to be where they're at, respectfully. Who do you got winning this division?
Chiefs. No hesitation.
Yeah, I'm going with you.
Chargers, they continue throwing away games they have no business throwing away. Justin Herbert, he's a talented, he's a talented, faceless, non-playable character. NPC.
He's a stat stuffer.
And Bo Nix is a one-week quarterback. And they got the defense, but bro, I felt this way from the start of the season. Ain't nothing happened to make me change my mind. This is the Chiefs division to lose. So I'll still roll with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Especially after what I saw against the Giants, I'm like, Broncos can be had. Because if you let that happen against the Giants, and move around.
What he said. We'll go to NFC. Start with the NFC East. Eagles are 5-2. Cowboys are in second place at 3-1. Commanders are in third at 3-4-0. And then the Giants are 2-5 in last place. So you got winning the division.
I still got the Eagles, but better get this stuff together because Cowboys, they're not going away.
What he said, I'm gonna put the Commanders in there too, because when they get their stuff together, they're gonna be a little bit of a threat as well. So
stick a fork in the Commanders' door.
If they get it together, bro. The Cowboys are not defensively going to threaten anyone.
Defensively, no.
So if the Commanders can get their stuff together, they can compete for the division. But I'm definitely going with the Eagles. You know, we do that from the jump. You know,
I already do that.
Yeah, off rip. NFC North. We got the Packers at 4-1, the Lions at 5-2, Bears at 4-2, and then the Vikings at 3-3. Excuse me, the Packers at 4-1-1, because they were the other team involved in that shenanigan. I'll go first this time. I haven't won first yet, so this will be fair. I am going to go with the Packers. I can't stand the Packers. They whined and cried about our tush push. And I don't respect that type of behavior, and I can't stand them. But I have to acknowledge taking off my rose-colored glasses, and they're probably going to win that division.
This is the hardest division to pick. I knew it was like that from the start. Before the season started, it's still like that now. I'm still go with the Lions. Would not surprise me if the Packers win. Heck, if the Bears continue, if they can build on the consistency, Like, I don't expect them to, but it wouldn't surprise me if they won. Like, I got 3 teams coming out this division still, so it's gonna be fun.
I've got the difference is gonna be that tie in my mind.
Yeah.
That's why I'm picking the Packers. They're gonna end up with similar records, but the Packers are gonna be able to have one less loss and still have as many wins. I think that's
how it's going to hurt them.
It might hurt them.
It might save them, but I think it's going to hurt them. Because that was a game they honestly should have won.
It was, but they didn't do like some of the rest of us and lose a game that they should have won either.
That is true.
It's kind of like, I feel where you're coming from too, because in my mind, it's going to help them, but it does give them one less win that they can have. So there's that too. But I think that's going to definitely be a big factor in what happens in the NFC.
For sure. Not just the division, but for the whole conference.
Yeah. Oh, I ain't worried about it. We're gonna win more games because we're gonna go beat them. It's coming after the bye. South, NFC South. To me, I'm be honest. Everything to me but the East, and that's just because I'm a fan of a team in the East. I think they're pretty tight races. NFC South. That's how crazy this is. Buccaneers are 5-2. The Carolina Panthers are 4-3. The Falcons are 3-3. Of course, the Saints are Sainting. About time to go back to the paper bags. They're 1-6. Who do you have winning this division?
I still got the Bucks, but their defense is not so much the front, the secondary.
Yeah.
And they got to play the Saints this week. And the one thing about the Saints always play them tough.
Mm-hmm.
So even if they win the game, they're going to get beat up. Listen, the Panthers are right there. I wish I could say the same for the Falcons, but I'm not loving what I'm seeing from Penix. Just not.
I'm going to be wild, and I'm going to say the Panthers are going to win the division.
Oh, wow.
What you say is 100% true on the Bucs secondary, but I think the Panthers have opened the gates of running the ball. This is something that I live in Charlotte, so I'm a big Eagles fan, but I live in Charlotte, so I hear local radio all the time, and they've been crying for years. Run the ball. Dave Canales, run the ball. And they started running the ball. And now you got Chuba back and Rico Dowdle, so you got a 2-headed monster. So now you can take some of the pressure off of Bryce Young, right? You can take some of the pressure off of Xavier Legette. You can run the ball where other teams' defense is down some. So I think that's going to be, if everybody stays healthy, the path to the Buccaneers. Finally losing this division to the Panthers. It'll be tight. It'll be nabbily tight. Yep. That's what I'm going with. Last division, sir. Last division. And probably to me, it might be the most difficult to call. Except for, of course, the Cardinals. So we got the 49ers right now in first place at 5 wins, 2 losses. Seahawks second place, 5-2. Rams third place, 5-2. And of course, at the bottom with the inverse of the other 3, you got the Arizona Cardinals at 2-5. They must have a new Call of Duty game coming out. Or came out recently.
Listen, through the 2 games he's played while Murray's hurt, Brisket looking Brissett, but yes, well, I'm calling him Brisket. Brisket looking better than him. I just what it is.
Jacoby Brisket.
Jacoby Brisket. As far as who's going to win the division, as much as it hurt me to say, I got the Niners.
Because the thing is, if they 5-2 and they ain't got their quarterback, you know what I'm saying? What's going to happen when they get their quarterback back? They get a couple of those injured guys on offense and defense back in.
Dude, I ain't gonna lie. So far, that's not to say that he's better than the one is better than the other, but to this point, Mac Jones has been better at quarterback for them than Brock Purdy has. Now, part of that has been Brock Purdy been hurt, tried to come back too soon. But Mac Jones has done a good job for being Mac Jones. This is the team he should have been drafted to begin with, so that's not really surprising either. But they got 2Q drafted Trey Lance, and that's how they ended up. We know the whole story behind that. That's how they ended up with Brock Purdy. The Seahawks can, but I don't trust Sam Darnold. If they weren't playing the Texans, man, because Sam Darnold turned back to Sam Darnold, and the Rams. My only concern is Matt Stafford, and he got moments he looked like the old Matt Stafford, and then he looked like an old Matt Stafford. And Sean McVay do be getting too cute himself at times. It's going to come down to who can prevent being their own worst enemy. I think the Niners have done this. They've shown more consistency than the other two teams. So, but it won't surprise me if one of them other two.
The old Matt Stafford and old Matt Stafford. Oh boy, I rock with him. All right, y'all. So we got to pick these games for Sunday. Let's get to it. Oh boy, Sunday. I don't know why they keep doing this on Fox. 1 p.m. The 2-5 Giants travel to the 5-2 Eagles of what I am calling the get back game. Philadelphia got embarrassed by the Giants. Philadelphia got manhandled by the Giants. They got pimp slapped by the Giants in front of the whole world on Thursday Night Football. If the Eagles don't come into this game more motivated and playing better, then we won't be winning a division. We won't be winning a playoff game, and we may not be winning many more regular season games. If it takes more than what's happened so far to get you motivated to play this Giants team, there's a lot bigger problems than what we know so far in Philadelphia. Going Eagles, I'm not going to say a blowout or anything. We just need a win.
I got the Eagles. I mean, can the Giants win? Sure they can. But after what I just saw, I don't trust them to play a complete game. I don't trust them to get through 4 quarters, so I got the Eagles.
All right, and then at 4:25 p.m., same Sunday, October 26th, we've got the Dallas Cowboys going to Denver to play the NFC East killers right now, the Denver Broncos. Call it hate. Call it whatever. But I think Denver just has the NFC East number. They beat us. They beat y'all, 2 completely different teams, 2 completely different ways. But, I mean, sometimes you just have certain teams or certain divisions number, like we did with the AFC North last year. But, boy, I'm going Denver. Make it 3-0 so far against the NFC East.
Hurt me to say, I got the Cowboys. Broncos going to have to prove to me they could actually do something. Because I haven't seen one quality win from this team, if I'm going to be honest. Like, yeah, they had to come back against y'all. That was good, but that wasn't like they played a complete game. They needed 30 points in the 4th quarter. I haven't seen a game from them where they start to finish, they like, yeah, this is a team to trust. So until they do that, I like what I've seen from the Cowboys more than I like what I've seen from them. So I got the Cowboys.
Now remember, sir, Denver plays a heck load of defense. So I'll throw it out there.
They can play whatever they want on defense. They're playing against they're playing against a better team right now than what they went against the previous week.
Okay.
Maybe they prove me wrong and shut me up. We'll see.
Hey, I wouldn't be mad to be right or wrong on that one. All right, Monday Night Football, October 27th. The universe loves them some Commanders, but I'll tell you that. Washington Commanders at 3-4 travel to play the defending and reigning AFC champions, not NFL champions. The Kansas City Chiefs, who are 4-3. Who's winning? Screw up.
Pick this is not betting advice. I'm just telling you how I would go about it. Pick the Commanders to cover, pick the Chiefs to win. I got the Chiefs winning this game. It's as simple as that. But I'd pick Commanders to cover.
There's a lot of so it's hard. Like, I just want to walk y'all through the process for this game in my mind. It's hard for me to pick the Commanders to win because I don't want them to win. It's hard for me to pick the Chiefs to win. I don't want them to win. It's not going to be a tie.
And they unfortunately both can't lose.
And they both can't lose, yeah. So as of now, Jaden Daniels is out. So they're going to have to go with Marcus Mariota. That's going to lead me towards the Chiefs. I hope and I pray that I'm wrong. But I got to go to Chiefs. Because Daniels.
I hope the NFL changes the rule right before that game so they can both lose, but the chances of that happen, I'd have a better chance of winning Lotto twice over. So,
right, oh boy, I feel it, man. I feel it. So yeah, man, we just wanted to get in here, talk to y'all, get everybody caught up. Don't forget, make sure you like, share, and subscribe wherever you're catching this at. Oh, and always remember, there's only one division that can call themselves the best in the NFL. They got some members of the division that's on some petty stuff, but facts are facts. There's only one division that team has won, not one. Every team has won at least 2 Super Bowls. That's the NFC Beast. The rest of y'all, you don't even have 4 teams that have won 1. Some of you don't even have 3 teams that have won 1. So until you can get like us, acknowledge us. The Beasts are in the East. It's facts, not fiction, baby. Anything you want to ask, Scrub?
I mean, they want to or not, that's just what it is. We got the championships. We got the history behind us. So
it's supposed to be about ships. So if it's about chips, we got them, baby. Got to acknowledge us. And good people, always remember, it is never where you start. It is always where you finish. And make sure that you are checking out all the wonderful programming that you can find on the BS3 network. We're blessed to be able to do this show on, as well as other places. Definitely make sure you're in every week. Definitely make sure you're checking us out. We'll be shouting out where you can find us. Me, it's always right down there. Bam, bam. You can find me without, where you can find all the stuff that I do as well. But it's a great time, man. It's a great time to be alive. It's a great season to talk sports. NBA, hockey, NFL, of course, college football. It's just so many things going on. College basketball is going to be starting soon, men's and women's. It's just a great time of year to talk sports.
Oh, and the NBA on NBC. Glad they got it back, man. That was fun.
That's a whole nother 2-hour discussion. I could be part of it. Really easy. All I'm gonna say is and I'm gonna let that one go right there. Good people, we'll see y'all next week. Remember, as always, it's never where you start, it's always where you finish. Boys out. We'll be back next week. Hopefully more of the crew will be with us, but if not, we'll hold it down because it's what we do. Beasts have been unleashed.